going to talk about the most important rudiment in all of drum playing, the double stroke roll. It's important to know how to play a good double stroke roll. Now, I've seen a lot of drummers that go through their whole career playing drums and really don't know how to play a good double stroke roll. Well, that's fine and dandy, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do if you know how to play the double stroke roll that you can't do if you don't. So it's a better thing to learn how to play the double stroke roll because it opens the doors for a lot of other drumming stuff like paradiddles and the great six-stroke roll, which I'm going to go into next time. But now, this time, let's talk about the double stroke roll. The double stroke roll is what it says. Each stick hits 2 strokes on the drum. And you try to make the 2 strokes with each hand sound equal so that you come out with an even sounding roll like this. And there are a bunch of different ways people learn how to play the double stroke roll, and I'm going to tell you about some of them. Then I'm going to tell you about the way that I like to practice the double stroke roll, and it makes it more fun, and it's just more fun to do it that way, and it's not as boring to learn it. Well, the main way that people have learned to play the double stroke roll is what they call the mama dada roll. They'll say mama dada, mama dada, mama dada. And they'll try to pick up the tempo as they go along. And the hard part about it is transcending from not bouncing the sticks to bouncing the sticks, because once you get up to a certain speed, you can't play fast enough to not bounce the sticks. You have to start bouncing the sticks at some point. And making that transition is really hard to do. And it's one way to learn how to play it. It's really boring to practice that way though, and it seems like you're never going to be able to make that transition. But if you keep practicing it day after day, it takes a long time to develop a good roll, but you'll eventually get it. Now, another way to learn how to play the double stroke roll is your second stroke will be harder than your first stroke. And that helps you to smooth the roll out and not make one stroke louder than the other. Although the way you start off practicing it, one stroke is louder than the other, and it's like this. It strengthens up your second stroke, because a lot of players, when they're practicing the double stroke roll, make their second strokes lighter than the first stroke, which won't work, like this. You don't want that, because your roll won't sound even if it's like that. So a lot of people practice making the second stroke harder than the first to develop the power in their hand to make their strokes even. All right, now that's another way to move the sticks to make them roll, to learn the roll. Yet another way is the people don't try to necessarily start off making the strokes even. They just get want to get a good bounce on the stick like this. And then what they do is they just start trying to combine the two together and closer together until they can get them to get synchronized to a smooth thing like. And they come out with a roll that way, and that works too. And all of those ways will work. But the way I like to practice the double stroke roll, and it makes it a little more interesting and it's more fun, is I like to practice it based on triplets. Based on playing a triplet, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like this. 1 and 2 and 3. And then for each one of those licks you hit on that triplet, you just double up and hit a double stroke on your drum like. Build it up faster and faster. It also gives you practice on playing triplets, but you get it up and you start working on faster and faster. So forth until you get it going. And it works out into a smooth, pulsating roll like you want. So that's the way I like to practice the double stroke roll, and I think it's a good way to practice it, and it makes it more interesting. You don't have to practice long every day, 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. Then go on to do your whatever other things you want to practice, but make that roll part of your practice every day, and you'll find that you'll be getting faster and faster and faster with it, and it'll also be fun to do, and you'll be proud of yourself for learning how to play a good, smooth double stroke roll. And like I said, it'll also open the doors for you to learn how to play the 6-stroke roll, paradiddle, and other rolls that you can apply to drum set playing that really work good. So work on the double stroke roll, work on it any one of those ways, but I recommend using the triplet, and then just continue to speed it up more and more and more until you can play a fast triplet double stroke roll. And one other thing, a double stroke roll is not the same thing as a buzz roll or a press roll. The press roll and buzz roll are actually easier to play than the double stroke roll. On the double stroke roll, you actually hear each stroke. You hear the double strokes, even when it's going fast. With the buzz roll and the press roll, it sounds more of a continuum, like. Now you can turn the buzz roll or the press roll by slowing it down into a double stroke roll, but a buzz roll and a press roll are played more like. You're just pressing the sticks into the head and then keeping them going. Whereas a double stroke roll, you can actually hear the double strokes. So that's the difference in a buzz roll, a press roll, and a double stroke roll. So practice the double stroke roll the way I showed you there. I guarantee you if you keep practicing it daily, for after a while you'll be able to play a good smooth double stroke roll. You'll be proud of yourself for learning how to play it. and have fun with it, work on it, and have a good time with it. And that's all for today.